Van Racing Adventures. Let's go racing! Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Anra Racing Adventures. Today we are at Bakersfield, California. It's April 19th, 2024. Anyways, I got the sun in my eyes so I can have a good vision right here on this, or else everything's going to be all shadowed again. So anyways, this is going to be our first competition of the year, and we are at the Anra Spring Nationals. And this is the Nostalgia Series, so it's all nostalgia cars. The break is 1980 and under. You can have cars from the 30s all the way up to 1980. So our categories is going to be 1160, which is E gas, Edward gas, and the other one is Hot Rod. Hot Rod has got the most competitors in there. Generally on this episode, not in this episode, at this event, there's usually at least 100 cars, 120, just for one category. So it's pretty big. Category next end, the E-Gas, that category generally gets anywhere between 30 to 40 cars. Beginning of the year, might be pushing 40. So anyways, we are way back here. See that? It's all dark, so I'm going to walk backwards so you get light on my old man glasses. That's for you, Steve. Anyways, so I'm going to show you around a little bit. I know we were here back in February, but we are way here at past the finish line. We're probably almost an eighth of a mile past the finish line. We get here on Friday night. So on Friday night, there's a lot of people here. We generally like parking out the boonies anyways. We don't like being way up there where everybody else is at, because when there's no breeze, it gets really hot there. So when you're by yourself, everything's kind of nice. You get a small little breeze here, always at Bakersfield. So anyways, I'm just going to show you around and see how far back we are. And we're going to go tech probably as soon as Nick gets here. Nick's usually about an hour behind us. He gets off work later and we get here. So let me show you around here. Okay, as you can barely see, those are the score timing finish line scoreboards right there. Even when I'm zooming in, it's the backside, so you won't see any numbers or anything. That's how far back we are. So we're about an eighth of a mile. Normally we're parked way up here. You'll see a yellow car way up there on the left. We usually park way up there, but not this weekend. It's okay. So here we are over here. Got the motorhome in the shadows. Golf cart. I need to introduce everybody to Wrench. This is Wrench. Okay. This stupid looking monkey that we got here. There's a reason why we got Wrench. Look at that stupid look on that monkey's face. Okay, anyways. That monkey was a representation back when we used to run junior dragsters. And back when we used to run junior dragsters, we had the dragster. It was called the Mystery Machine. And then the Mystery Machine, that car, oh man, that car was a pill. We would have the weirdest things happen to us with that car. Just weird things. So we never knew it was going to happen. We never got a win with that car with Brittany. When Brittany raced, we got a couple finals, a couple semis, but we could never get the win with that car. Nick had it. Nick drove it since he was 13, and up until he was 16 is when we finally got a win. We actually have that on YouTube. We're going to try to put one over on this Van Racing Adventure site. Anyways, so what it was is that me and Steph went to Mervin's. That's how old it is. They don't have Mervin's anymore. Went over to Mervin's, and I saw that stupid looking stuffed monkey, and I told her, I said, we've had a monkey on our back with that car since we've had it. So I got it, and when we would do our races and stuff, every time we'd win around, I would put that monkey up a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. And when we finally won, we were going to put it in the barbecue and burn it, but then we were thinking, hey, maybe that thing's good luck. So we kept the stupid looking monkey and nicknamed as Wrench. We've had some fun with it, the people that know us. So that's just one of our little things that we have with our racing. So anyways, we're going to go tech in pretty soon. And we're not going to show you the tech. We've already showed a couple times what it's about. I don't know if anybody wants to keep seeing that. So leave it in the comments if you want. If you want us to show how we go into the tech. And if you don't want to show it anymore, we won't. We're trying to get some feedback. I think our episodes are getting better, so stand by and we'll see what we got after we're done checking. Good morning, everybody. It's April 20th, 2024. We are in the command center for Van Horn Racing. It's just our motorhome. Anyways, I'm just going to show you our computer setup, or my computer setup I have for both the kids as we're going to do our qualifying today. Nick's going to be in E-Gas. Brittany's in Hot Rod. Brittany's going to be running first. So hopefully the car is running as well as it did at Irwood Nail just a week ago. And we'll go out and make a good pass, and then Nick goes right after her in his other category. So let me show you our little setup we have here. Okay, so right now we have right here car making noise in the background. Over on this side over here, this one is, let me look. Okay, yep. Okay, this is gonna be Brittany's computer. This is where we're gonna put the weather in. This one over here, that one there, that's gonna be Nick's. Put the weather in, that's gonna give us a prediction of what we're gonna run. Not sure if you can see Nick's trophy right there, what it says on it, but I'm gonna have a better video of that in a second. But he was a 2022 Summit Series champion, and we'll get a better picture of that. There's too much shadow in here. I have lights on and everything. It's just not working out very well. So anyways, this is what we got. I'm gonna try to show you throughout the day what we're gonna do. For me, I'm super busy doing all this, so it's I don't get intense, but I get really wrapped up into it, so I might not be talking a lot. Probably have Brittany or Nick do the videoing, maybe Steph as I'm putting in the information. So I already warmed up the car, drove around the pits a little bit. We changed the jetting, just went up just one size in the jetting. I think the weather's a little bit better here, and I think we were running a tad lean, if you remember, in that race that we did at Irwindale. So just went up in the jet size just a little bit. So this is what we're going to be doing for the day, and let's see what we got. There's the next trophy right here. Pro Champion 2022. They're a little delayed on the trophy from a year ago. Some different circumstances happened. So, but we got it today on April 20th. So that's cool. Hope this video comes out good because it's showing really dark right now. But there we go. There's Nick's trophy for being champion.
Brittany's first pass of the Anra season opener, April 20th.
#1 qualifier after round 1.
Really?
Yep.
That was all out.
Yeah, I was about to say that's all it's got. So we still gotta see if we can figure out something else. You think it's a little fat?
Yeah, I was like 12.2.
Okay. Okay. We'll do that. We'll change jets.
60 foot didn't feel that horrible, but it was.
What was it?
169.
Jeez. Okay.
But I said it was going to change.
Right. All right. Let's change. We're gonna change some jets in it. All right. The car is running a little bit rich right now. We put the 950 Holly on. We got suspects of things going on with the Cuddy right now. So we had to change carburetors, get a little bit more power, and we're gonna lean it out a little bit. It's a little warm, and see what happens. So here we go. All right, so we're number one qualifier after the first pass. We ran 1162 with Nick. Remember, our index is 1160. That's what we're trying for. With 1162, that was as fast as this was gonna go, and we're really running, it's running rich. So we're gonna change the jetting. It had 82s, we're gonna put 80s in it. That should lean it out a little bit. As the weather's gonna get worse, we should be about in the same ballpark. Normally we try to be in the 50s, but it's not gonna happen this weekend. So we're gonna change these, and we're gonna change the back. I don't remember what the back is. I think the back is 82 as well, the secondary. But we're gonna find out when we take those off. So we're gonna put these in, and these are 80s. This is the same carburetor we ran 1118 with, but that was in exceptionally good weather. We don't have exceptionally good weather today, so plus we're not trying to run it anyways. And now we're gonna get it back. Pause it. Right now we're draining the gas out of the secondary flow bowl. That way you can take the flow bowl off and change the jets. Nick. Probably should put a new spark plug in for that pass on this one.
Oh, I thought you did.
I took it back out. I wanted to check it. We'll do it on the next pass. No. You're going to tighten it to 100 foot-pounds torque on these. This little quarter stripe just isn't enough. Just kidding, we're just doing a little bit over hand tight. It's probably about 5 foot-pounds of torque on it.
Oh, you said it was 82s in the secondary?
Yeah, it was. So it was 82 square. Alright, earlier today on Brittany's pass, we put a brand new spark plug in to get a reading on it. Looked like it was a little lean, that's why we went to that 950 carburetor. Because we really needed to make a big swing at it. Because we were way off of where we should have been. So I'm going to put that plug back in and we'll see what it runs. See, this is what we have right now. It's after one pass.
I don't think it was lean though. It was reading 12 something.
Yeah, I know. You said it was 12.5, Britt, on your pass?
The whole way down.
Yeah. See, and that's actually pretty good. now we're going to do the weather station, we're going to do the computer, and do all the stuff that I told you about in the last video, and what I said earlier in this video. We already have Brittany's information, we're going to go back to that. I'm going to show you how we're going to do Nick's information. Nick's Q1 pass. Got the first pass in there. We're going to put the time in. It was 11 o'clock this morning. He was in the right lane. He was in the left lane. Sorry. And his reaction time, pretty good, at 0.71. Then 60 foot was 1.696. The cars in 60 foot really good, but we'll get into that later. 330 is 4.812. 8th mile, 7.431. If you remember Brittany at Irwindale just a week ago, we were 748, 750. Nick goes a little bit quicker just because of the way we have the car set up. Our mile an hour is 93.62. 1,000 foot, which we didn't have at Irwindale. Irwindale is only 660 feet. So we're at 1,000 foot here, is 9.7. Quarter mile is 11.622. And a mile an hour, it was 117. And so remember how I was saying that we want to run 1160. We ran 1162. So 1162, we're 200ths off of where would be perfect. We are number one qualifier, so we did make adjustments. You saw in the video just previously. And we're going to try to get that 200ths back. 200ths it's hard to get, especially with this weather, so that's what our temp is. Now I'm going to show you the weather that we're going to put in. Remember how we did it at Irwindale? So we're going to put here. 84 is the temp. It's warm out here today at Bakersfield. Humidity's 44. So we're a little bit moist in our air out there. Barometric pressure 2943 is a little bit different there at Irwindale last week. And the density altitude, what the car thinks that where the altitude is, we're at 2,380 feet, which is roughly a half a mile above sea level. And the grains of water, if you remember me talking about that at Irwindale, that also tells us how much moisture we have in the air. This is parts per million. And we're at 78, so there is a lot of humidity, and there is a lot of moisture in this air, so that does explain why it's a little bit slower. And it's not going to run those 1118s and 20s like it did earlier this year in their testing, because we have the exhaust back on us, so that's why it's a little bit slower if you're following super close. And we'll do our run completion. So right here, the computer says that we should around 1162 with the 2, which is what we have here at 117 miles an hour. So we're going to accept it. And now when I was talking to you about the predicting ET, we're going to come back to this later, but here's what our run was. When we have our weather getting ready for the next pass, I'm going to put all this information in before we make a run, and then it'll tell us about what the car should run. Right here, going by these numbers, the car should run 1159, but we're going to disregard that because that's not what we're going to have for our second one. Now go over to Brittany's pass real quick. Okay, I already put in the weather and everything for Britt. So she had her 55 reaction time. We always focus 50 is one thing we always talk about. She had a 55, so she was right where we need to be. 60 foot, 166, and so on right there. The car ran slower. We had the 650 Holly on, the one where we were running slower on purpose. But there's different reasons why the car is tailed off about 0.2 of a second. We'll get into that later. So that's why when we went to Nick's pass, which was after Brittany's, we went to the bigger carburetor to try to make up for some of our losses with the weather and other things going on. So all that's put in. Brittany's run completion was already put in. I did that earlier when we were a lot busier. And now we have our prediction. This prediction is not going to be accurate because we have another carburetor on. So unfortunately, for Brittany's second pass, we're going to have to use that as a reference for her first pass tomorrow because we're going to leave the car the way it is now for the rest of the weekend. But Brittany can adapt really well, and it won't be that big of a deal for our prediction. So that's it for what we were talking about with the all of our computer setup we have, and this is all the intense stuff that I do. It's good intense, not bad intense. Take my old man glasses off again. And this is what I do between rounds. It's going to get more and more busy when we get into different rounds. Hopefully we go rounds tomorrow. And when we do, we're going to probably video and won't be talking this much because there's a lot of work that goes on between each one. So hang on, and we'll get ready for second cue. Thanks.
Brittany racing her second qualifying at Anra opener.
Paul and Don Hogan are right off down through there, 914, 146, jump back, 156, 113. Hop on the Pinkmobile. Wrigley Van Horn, Miss Britt, Yoles Cuddy. In fact, by the way, Mom and Dad are having a wedding anniversary. 33 years, I believe it is. Quite odd. Mine's been working on the old, so that's why I slowed down. Top of the top end. 10-6 Dick just got bumped off that top spot with the old Cuddy. Richard Hart in the Camaro. Richard's gone to 2.156. Big first on that starting line.
Okay, here we go. We're on Brittany's second qualifying pass. I already put the information in because I needed to put it in for Nick's pass. So Brittany had an 83 light, 167 60 foot, 485 330, 660 was 749, and so on. We put that 950 Holly on because it looks like the flow mashers, the car's running a little bit leaner, so we had to put the bigger carburetor on. I have nothing to compare it to because we made such a big change, so doing my prediction wasn't really going to help. It'll help for tomorrow for first round, but it didn't help at all for our second one. So we'll go off to Nick's pass. Okay, this is going to amaze and wonder everybody. So this right here, I put in the weather right before the pass. If you remember me talking about that before, I put in the weather what it was right before the pass. This is what the prediction was, 1162 to 1163. And like I said, we need 1160, so I was not happy seeing that we're going to be running about the same if the computer was correct. We downjetted it, run a little bit leaner. It did help to run leaner. Let's see what happens. Time of day, 3:45. Okay, next reaction time, 0.081. 60 foot, 1.697. It's not a stellar 60 foot, but like I said, we'll get into that in another episode. 660 the mile an hour. We got our mile an hour back, so we know that the carburetor helped. So apparently that flow masher has given us more, and that other carburetor just isn't enough for this engine anymore. So we did find something out. Oops, I made a mistake here. We did find something out, but it wasn't what we really wanted for this weekend, but we know now. So you can see that mile an hour is pretty good there. Quarter mile. So if you're looking right here, look what it ran right there. That's what we ran. Remember what I was showing you on the prediction? So we ran an 1162, just like what the computer said, what I put in with the temperatures. When I put in the pre-race, the weather actually got a little bit worse than that, than what I put on for the pre. The weather changed quite rapidly here within about a half an hour. That's Nick on his bike outside. The corrected altitude went up another 200 feet almost, or about 150 feet. If you remember from our Irwindale episode, every time this number goes higher, the car will pretty much start running slower unless you're running lean to start with. You run lean, then it actually might even run better, which sometimes the Cuddy did with that 650, but that 650 looks like we're probably going to retire that carburetor. The grains, it went up from on my prediction, but not on this pass. We didn't really have any wind, so I won't put in the wind. So now we'll go in here, the run completion. And yeah, that's exactly what I ran. Go into our predict. And that's what we ran. We ran 62 at the 9. And it was saying, if you took the averages, 1163, hopefully you can see it on the camera. 400's off on that, but we're pretty much almost dead on with the one formula. And the formula I have here, probably going to have to knock off. So this one is probably around to go off for the rest of the weekend. It's going to be the number 1. So we ended up qualifying number 4. We ended up 4th. And we were number 1, but we knew that it was going to be difficult on the second pass. So what we came up with was we tried to run a little bit better when we took the jets out, changed them a little bit leaner. It didn't get enough. But I'm really happy with 4th considering what's going on with the car, with the weather, and all that other stuff. So stick around, and we'll be showing our races tomorrow. Thanks for watching Anra Racing YouTube channel.